Hi everyone, welcome to JCPS. My name is Linda Johnson and I work out of Human Resources, and I'm going to be presenting to you the overview of some of the policies and procedures and some of the great facts and figures about JCPS and how they work together and how all of us make a team effort to go ahead and teach our children. We want you to leave with an understanding of the vision, mission, values, and focus areas of JCPS, an understanding of how JCPS is organized to accomplish our vision and how each individual plays a role in it, a better understanding of the benefits plan, an understanding of your individual responsibilities while on probation as well as every day after, an understanding of the job description, connection between job duties and evaluations and individual rights as an employee, and an appreciation and understanding for JCPS policies and procedures. We are governed by the Board of Education. There's 7 board members. We went ahead and had 3 come aboard in January of 2014, and we're going to be having elections in the fall of 2014, so there might be some other open spots, but it's going to be interesting how these new people go ahead and bring to light some vision and mission to the district. The superintendent is wonderful, and she's out there going ahead and meeting with the community, and she's out there talking about JCPS in a positive light so that everybody can understand what we're accomplishing and what we're doing. But she reports to the Board of Education. We also have, she used to have 25 people reporting to her. Now she has approximately 6 people that directly report to her. She expects for them to go ahead and get the job done and take care of the day-to-day activities so that she can be out there with the community and going ahead and meeting with businesses and community leaders. Again, Dr. Hargens goes ahead and goes out there. She coordinates and plans activities to anticipate future requirements. Children learn at different levels, and some kids need one-on-one learning styles. So it's really important that we go ahead and we have more bodies in the classroom, and that's what she did with the money and went ahead and bought technology to update, because a lot of these kids today use technology more and more into the classroom. So she's been able to provide them vision. Our mission, vision, focus areas, and values are our guiding principles. What we want to do as the district's mission is to provide a relevant, comprehensive, quality instruction in order to educate, prepare, and inspire our students to learn. We want to go ahead and try to do everything we can, like adding the additional instructional assistants into the classrooms so that we can go ahead and really inspire these kids to learn and give them and present them with the knowledge in a way that they can understand it. We also go ahead and we are creating an environment where JCPS students graduate prepared to reach their full potential. We have programs like Close the Deal. Close the Deal started at Valley High School, and we've gone ahead and we've spread it out to other schools. We hope to go ahead and get it across the district, but it's something that does cost outside money and outside resources. But what we do is we work with the families and the kids to go ahead and fulfill their financial aid requirements for the FAFSA. We make them learn and understand how to fill that form out, learn and understand how to fill out applications for college, know what is out there. And so then we go ahead and we have a college fair for them, and we have representatives there from vocational training and the military and colleges and universities. We want these kids to realize that there is potential out there and that there's something after high school. And then what we do is we close that deal for them. So we get them totally packaged and ready to go ahead and go into the vocation that they want to go into. So we want them to reach their full potential and contribute to our society throughout life. Together we can do it. I'm going to show you a video, and the video I want you particularly pay attention to Avery. Avery is such a success story for the Jefferson County Public Schools, and you're going to meet kids like Avery, and you can touch their lives and change their lives forever. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this video.
I really love going to school. It's really exciting.
And when I get to school, I get excited, and sometimes I don't even want to leave school after school is over.
Education is important to me.
Education is important to me.
Education is important to me because I want to learn. I want to know why stuff happens and how it happens.
It's more than just learning. It's connecting with the person.
Education is important to me because it will help me reach my goals in life.
There's no doubt that education has changed my life. My name's Avery. I'm 18 years old and I just graduated from Jefferson County Public Schools. I had missed about 51 days of school one year. I went to 4 different elementary schools while I was here. Once I got into middle school, just in 1 year alone, I went to 3 different schools. My mom got sick and she ended up losing her job, and we spent a lot of the summer just with no food, no nothing. I just didn't like school. School was a waste of time to me, and it just left me, I felt it was pointless.
I think the best thing about my job is when you see someone grow throughout the whole year. I have students that at the beginning of the year just struggled, both behaviorally and academically.
I try to figure out what I can do to make that student's life better. Whatever they're dealing with at home, for some reason I tend to take that home as well.
For me, teachers are more than just teachers. They're friends, they're mentors, they're anything you need them to be.
When teachers are friendly and when administrators, when you guys are friendly to us, it makes us feel like we belong and we should be doing something good.
You really opened up a new me. Even though I'll sometimes have a bad attitude, you turn it right around.
I was very difficult to deal with, especially early on. I didn't really start controlling myself until a little bit after sophomore year. I was very bad. I acted out. My Spanish teacher, Nate Jefferson, he led me to want to be better.
Educators remind me that I have no limits and that I can learn as much as I push myself to.
Then my tennis coach and my leap coordinator, Miss Holly Hines, she led me and just shoving college in my face, just, Avery, you gotta do this. This fall, I'll be a student at the University of Kentucky, and I will be an English education major so that I can do for others what you've done for me.
Right there, that's why I'm an educator.
The success of one,
My success.
My success
Is the work of many.
You make a difference in my life.
I do make a difference.
We all make a difference.
JCPS is a big team.
it starts from the top down, and working together, even with my boss and with my administrative staff and even with my teachers, it's a joy.
You have been in the trenches. You've been in the classroom. I need your expertise.
You want me to be the best educator I can today, but you push me to be even better tomorrow.
You know, I may not tell you this all the time, but I really appreciate what you do for me.
Thank you for believing in me.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the hard work that you've done, all the long hours and all the sacrifices that you've made.
We as a team have accomplished a lot together, and I'm certainly proud of what we've done over the past several months, several years. But the road is still long, and we still have a lot to accomplish.
I am so excited.
I can't wait to get started.
This is going to be a great year.
I can't wait for first grade.
Together, we can do it.
Together, we can do this.
Together, we can do it.
You and I.
Together, we can do it.
Together, we can do it.
Together, we did it.
How did you like Avery? What a success story. I checked up on Avery. He's still at the University of Kentucky, and he comes back on his breaks and works at Gaddyland. He is such a true success story. And what Avery went through by missing days, when he was changing schools, do you think he was changing at the same curriculum level? Of course not. He was meeting new teachers and new friends, and he was always a step behind. And so by the time he went ahead and made and got himself together in high school, His Spanish teacher really saw something in Avery, got him involved in the LEAP program, which is the Louisville Education and Employment Partnership, and got him involved in tennis so that he would go ahead and be connected to his school and be connected with a mentor that could give him his extra tutoring that he needed and go ahead and get him prepared for college. I'm sure they helped him out with scholarships because obviously his family didn't have any money, and so they went ahead and they packaged Avery to go ahead and send him to UK. We can do that for so many students, and if we can just go ahead and see that spark, see that light in them, that they're willing to go ahead and help themselves. Focus areas: increased learning and graduation and beyond, stakeholder involvement and engagement, safe and resources and supported and equipped schools. I want to tell you about stakeholders. We want to get businesses into our schools so that they can see our needs well and above what the state gives us as far as money for our kids. I'm going to tell you a story about Rubbertown Industrial Park and what they did for Cane Run Elementary. They went to Cane Run Elementary to go ahead and volunteer for Everyone Reads and read to the kids and get involved in their school, and they discovered that they had swing sets for their play area. So they got together as individuals and raised $181,000 to put a state-of-the-art handicap accessible playground on Cane Run Elementary's play area. Now they've got something to really be proud of, and we can go ahead and really incorporate physical education into Cane Run's program. But it takes a spark and a vision of our community leaders. We went ahead and 2 and 3 years ago, we were able to put in 13 playgrounds in our schools where swings were just hung. So it's really important that we try to go ahead and get our stakeholders involved and engaged, and Dr. Hargens is doing a wonderful job of going out there and toting our successes to the community. What is the driving force? Our students are cared for and treated as if they are our own. Our children learn differently. What happens in the classroom matters the most. Leadership and innovation are essential to prepare students for their future. Talents and resources are used wisely to benefit students. The difference of each are the assets of the whole. High quality teaching is the most powerful tool for helping students reach high standards. Partnerships among schools, families, community are important for the health and well-being of our students. And adults model integrity, respect, creativity, and accountability. It doesn't matter what position you have with the district. Do you realize that a lot of places our schools are cleaner than where these kids come from home? And the custodians do that by working really hard to make sure our schools look beautiful. We have nutritious meals that we're feeding these kids in the morning and at lunchtime so that they can have nutritious meals so that they can do better in school and aren't worried about where their next meal is going to come from, because chances are they might go home and eat a bag of potato chips or something that's not healthy. So we really try to go ahead and do whatever we can to go ahead and have the partners. Another partnership is Blessings in a Backpack. This program was developed by a vision that went ahead and said, we need to provide non-perishable food for kids over the weekend. So the kids go ahead and have a backpack, and they go ahead and we put food in it, non-perishable items, so they have something to eat for their families over the weekend. They bring the backpack back, and then we give it to them again on Friday. So it really supports. But it has to do with the community and business leaders seeing a need for this to go ahead and invest their corporate dollars into that program. JCPS facts. How many students are enrolled in JCPS? Well, it's after the 5th day at JCPS for the 14-15 school year, and it looks like we're going to have 103,000 students coming to JCPS. How many schools are located in Jefferson County School District? We have 172 schools in our district. Now, not all those schools are our own schools, but we go ahead and we provide education to Maryhurst, to Our Lady of Peace, to the Brook, places where troubled kids are trying to get over addiction or trying to get over emotional stability. We have Jefferson County teachers that go out to those locations and actually work with those kids for their education while they get the therapy and the help that they need. How many full-time employees currently work for JCPS? That's about 17,000. How many teachers currently work for the district? That's approximately 6,000. But you have to remember, we have a lot of substitute teachers, we have a lot of instructional assistants, and a lot of people that might be on the payroll. They're part-time workers, but we need them as well to go ahead and support our kids. What percentage of JCPS students are enrolled in free and reduced lunch? And the percentage is about 65%. How many buses are needed to transport the 60,000 students to and from school? We're transporting more than 60,000 students with our increased number of students. So it's about more like 65 to 70,000 kids. We have 979 buses on the road. And I'll tell you, the community really likes it when school's out because they can go ahead and they can get to work on time a little bit better with those buses off the road. But we go ahead and we are a machine getting these kids to the schools. How many square feet of flooring does the custodial staff clean on a daily basis? These are all of our schools. Our custodians clean about 15 million square feet of flooring every day. How many meals does JCPS nutrition service staff prepare and serve each year? That's breakfast and lunch to these kids. That's about 15 million as well. How much is the operating budget for the district? You can choose A, B, or C. If you've chosen C, you're right, because we're probably in the billion. So keep that in mind. We've got a large budget, a lot of kids, bring in more money to go ahead and make sure that we're going ahead and doing the right things with the money. What is a student to teacher ratio for the district? You probably think 35 to 1, maybe some of you think 20 to 1, but it's actually 17 to 1 with those extra personnel in the classrooms to keep those classrooms small. Yes, you might see a 35 to 1 or you might see a 25 to 1, but our average is 17 to 1. What is the average annual expenditure to educate each child attending school in the district? This is how much money is sent from Frankfort back to Jefferson County to spend on our kids. $6,400 to go ahead and that we get from Frankfort. What percentage of the JCPS high school graduates successfully transition into college, employment, the military, and other training? You would not believe this, but we've gotten it up to 92.7%. That is phenomenal, but we're not going to quit. We're going to keep working with those other kids to try to get them a job or get them into college or get them into vocational training or something that they can make something out of their lives so they don't end up in poverty. It's really important that we work with these kids. As an employee, you should know, like we talked about, we're the 28th largest district in the nation. We have approximately 4,650 English as a second language students. They're speaking 107 different languages. We do not have enough bilingual teachers to go ahead and service all of those kids, but we're really trying. And at a lot of schools, we actually go ahead and work with the parents and teach them English as a second language during the day while we're teaching their kids so that they can come home and help with the homework. It's a wonderful program. Homelessness, over 12,000 homeless children. Those are kids that do not have a permanent residence. They're either at grandma's or they're at the aunt's house or dad's or mom's or in a shelter. They're moving around. And like Avery, they're moving from school to school. Are they at the same curriculum level? They're getting to know different teachers, different students all the time. How can you become involved in clubs and organizations if you're moving around all the time and you have very little stuff that you can carry with you, especially with the ones that are in shelters? So just keep in mind that those are the growing populations, ESL and homeless education. We have 13,000 special needs kids. We try to work with every kid to give them a quality education. And I want to tell you about a program at Churchill Park that was corporate sponsored by CoSare Charities. They went ahead and developed a sensory classroom that the kids we can get them out of their wheelchair and get them moving around a room so they can touch and feel and see and hear some wonderful things. We can get them out of their wheelchair into like a bed setting where things can come down and they can go ahead and play with. But we want to go ahead and give them some type of education while they're here. We talked about 172 schools. We talked about the pupil expenditure, the student to teacher ratio, 13,000 classrooms, highly diversified student population, and the fastest growing segment of school population is homeless and English as a second language. We talked about flooring. We talked about, we have 102 in-school security monitors. We have approximately 1,300 clerical employees, bookkeepers, clerks. We have 2,200 classified instructional assistants, ECE instructors 1, 2, and 3, and bilingual instructors. Nutritious meals, we talked about that. We talked about the buses. We talked about special education kids. Family and youth resource centers. These are wonderful centers in our schools. And what they do is they try to link up the needs of the child and the families to try to find the resources that they need in the community. We try to go ahead in the Family Resource Center, like if a student is identified and does not have glasses or needs to go ahead and get glasses, the Family Resource Center coordinator links up that family with a local optometrist so that they can go ahead and possibly get those glasses and that eye visit for free or at a low cost so that that child can go ahead and see. And we try to go ahead and work with different programs like that. Community schools are open at night. We try to offer cooking classes, budgeting classes, things like that for the families to come in and learn more about how they can take care of their family better, how they can go ahead and work with a better budget for their grocery shopping and different things like that. Child enrichment program, that's where we go ahead and have after-school programming through the YMCA, through the Boys and Girls Clubs, and places like that. We have tutoring learning centers at a lot of those places that have people that actually work with kids on their homework, and some of them go and play basketball and get physical education, but a lot of them go ahead and get tutoring as well. We were the first full-day kindergarten class, and it's wonderful to see those children thrive. We have a nationally recognized Head Start program. If we can get those kids in at 3 and 4 years old and go ahead and get them to learn their colors and their numbers and their letters, and we can go ahead and get them started, they are so ready for kindergarten. And it's so easy to go ahead and transition them. They have the social skills and the basic knowledge to go ahead and really do well in kindergarten. And they're going to take that through to the rest of their school days. Adult education, the state of Kentucky went ahead and finally passed a bill to go ahead and keep kids in school till they're 18. This is wonderful. Did you have any idea what you wanted to do when you were 16 years old? Some of us did, but many of us did not. So we want to go ahead and discourage them for dropping out at 16. We want to keep them till they're 18 because they're more prepared to get that high school diploma and then go out there and get a job if they need to, or go on to college or whatever they so desire. If you don't have a GED or a high school diploma, you're probably going to end up in poverty, and it creates a vicious circle. So we want to get these kids in and get them the knowledge that they need. But we have a wonderful adult basic education program. Schools, I want to tell you about some of these schools. They're amazing. Jefferson County High School. We have places all over the district that teach Jefferson County High School. There's instructors in the classroom. A lot of the classes are taught online. And what these kids do is they're not bad kids. They just didn't want to get caught up in the football games and all the clubs and organizations. They just want to go in, get their education, maybe work in the afternoon, and graduate. Teenage Parent Program. Used to be where a child would go ahead and a little girl would get pregnant, she'd drop out of school. Now we go ahead and we have the teenage parent program for her so that she can go in there. Once she has her baby, we have daycares there so she can see her baby. They teach financial planning, budgeting, and approximately 97% of those girls are going on and doing something so they can care for their children. They work with them as far as financial planning and trying to go ahead and make sure that they're getting the child support that they deserve and trying to go ahead and make them become better moms and better parents to go ahead and work with their kids. We have Breckenridge Metro. When the kids go in the correction facilities, we want them to come back when they get out and go to high school. So a lot of the kids go there to Breckenridge Metro and they go ahead, and some of them end up going back to their high schools. A lot of the kids just stay there because we have teachers that are equipped to work with some of these kids that are coming out of the correction facilities. So we have a wonderful array of schools. There's no reason why any child should drop out of school because we've got a place to put them. Operation policies and procedures. JCPS policies and procedures. We have negotiated employment agreements, job description, your evaluation, your probation. Not everybody is on probation, but most of our classified staff are on probation except for administrators. We have trouble spots, grievance procedures, compensation, and employee role. Some of our people that we hire at JCPS have an opportunity to join the union, so you might want to check into that if you see your classification right here on the screen. We have an understanding of your duties. You want to know your job description and understand that there might be duties as assigned so that you know clearly what you're supposed to be doing. You get your annual review. Those of you that are on probation, you get a 30, 60, 90-day probation. Copy to Employee and Human Resources. Read it carefully. You have 10 days to file a statement if you don't agree with it. And that goes in your personnel file, so when somebody might be looking at you for another job, they know your side of the story. So just keep that in mind that you have 10 days to file an attachment. Your initial 90-day probation, those of you that are on probation, 30, 60, 90-day written evaluation. You can't transfer to a new position. Your sick, personal, emergency, and vacation days, they accrue, but you can't use them until your 90 days are up. And then your recommendation for retention is based on your first-line supervisor evaluation. All employees are entitled to due process, opportunity to rebut allegations. Progressive discipline is the norm. There are no exceptions, and the seriousness of the offense. Things that will get you in trouble. You're not going to do any of these things, so we don't need to worry about them, but I just need to go over them with you. Dishonesty. Theft and receiving property stolen from JCPS. We know you like the little Post-it notes, but please don't take them home and put them by your telephone because we are so short on supplies. We can't afford for every employee to be stealing from JCPS and stealing school supplies. So keep that in mind. Insubordination or willful disrespectful conduct. Fighting on the premises, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do horseplay resulting in personal injury. You're not going to drink on the job. Now, what you do on the weekend when you're not on the job is your business, but you do not drink while on the influence of being around your work environment. We will go ahead and terminate you on the spot if you are found drinking on the premises. The same thing goes with narcotics and being under the influence of narcotics. Now keep in mind if you have a medical condition that you feel like your supervisor needs to know, that might be if we have to call 911, could save your life. If they knew about your medical condition, please feel free if you want to go ahead and talk to a supervisor. Otherwise, just keep in mind that prescription medicine is okay to take during the school day. Carrying a deadly weapon, if you have a pocket knife that you use as a key ring, that's considered a deadly weapon. You don't want to use that, so make sure you take that off before you report to school. Falsifying employer records and reports, don't do that. There are ways that we can find those out. Willful and neglectful damage of JCPS property, failure to report an accident. Most important, when we go ahead and we think in terms of our safety at school, if there's an accident, you need to report it right away so somebody can do something about it, so it can be taken care of. We don't want to go ahead and wait on those things because it could cause an accident for somebody else. Failure to maintain your professional credentials. Those of you that are required to do professional development on your flex days, please keep up with that. Please keep up with your professional credentials because it could mean the difference of you being able to keep your job or not. Action involved grievance procedures, process allowing employee to voice his or her concerns about employment issues. Concerns must go through the chain of command. Employee has the right to an association representative. Complaint or allegation can be verbally initiated and written. Informal and formal procedures. Salary placement, full-time verifiable related work experience. You want to think in terms of if you have anything beyond what your job requires, like if you have education beyond the minimum requirement, it could mean a little bit more money on your salary. If you have military experience or you have related work experience. And if you have any of those, you need to talk to your hiring specialist to go ahead and find out if you're entitled to more money. Annual raises are only given out July 1. That's determined by the state and by the superintendent. You have to work a minimum of 140 days to be able to be eligible for a raise that year, if there is a raise given. Additional opportunities are coaching, extended school. You can get extra service hours for that. Or if you're promoted, you're guaranteed at least 5% increase, and direct deposit is mandatory. Professional development. Those of you that are classified staff that need professional development, you need to earn 24 hours of professional development credit each year unless you are a bus monitor or you work less than 182 days. If you do, there are different things that you can go ahead and do to get professional development like CPR. You must complete the evaluation and the facilitator must mark you in attendance before credit will show up on PD Central. You must have the hours before flex day or you have to attend the PD on that day. Employee role, we want you to be thoughtful, energetic, attentive to duties, conscientious and collegial, honest and humorous, eager, resourceful, and a role model. And we want you to be advocates for children. You're important to the success of our children. We want you to be lifelong learners. We want you to be cooperative, committed to excellence, and communicators of the district story. What I've tried to do today is be able to give you an overview of JCPS and all the wonderful things that are going on. We are a machine and we need to go ahead and work together, all of us, nutrition specialists, custodians, clerks, administrators, instructional people. We need to work all together to go ahead and make this work for our kids. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you very much. My name is Linda Johnson. And if you need to reach me, I can be reached at 485-6636. Thank you very much.